Hello everyone and welcome back to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel. Cedric here on day 8 technically of the Mr. Hop Beer Bible Advent Calendar. We've had some quite different beers, especially the past few days. We've had that very thick pastry imperial stout that I didn't really like, and yesterday we had that Lubbock IPA that I absolutely adore. So yeah, let's see where they'll take us today. Number 8. Oh, so we're going back to that side. I actually expected it to fan out to this side again. I see some classic Mikkeller figures. Oh cool, it's a collab. I see Poesiat and Kater, which is a Dutch brewery, and then Mikkeller, I think is of Danish descent. Okay. Now I do know that they like IPAs and dark beers, and quite fittingly, this is made a double black IPA. Now I've always had a certain admiration and respect for Mikkeller. I remember some beers that he did with Lindemans, for example. Yeah, awesome. Brouwerij Poesiat and Kater. Well, before we go any further, I must say that Mikkeller is like the godfather of nomad brewers, in that sense that he hasn't had a brewery for a very long time, and he used to just make up recipes and send them to other brewers with a letter saying, I think this is something for you guys brew it, put my name on it, and we'll sell it together, in a nutshell. So he did make an awesome Spontaan Basil lambic with Lindemans, which was a basil lambic. For example, fantastic. And one of my favorite concert venues has an alcohol-free beer by Mikkeller, the Energiebier. The man has made some great beers. So, when Henry met Poesiat and when Sally met Kater, the iconic duos of Mikkeller Beer and Brouwerij Poesiat and Kater got together for a steamy Dutch-Danish double date. Hence the name of this beer, double date, be it written in a weird alphabet. Inspired by their shared love for dark beers, they crafted a daring double black IPA brimful with Cascade and Crystal hops. Skull to the power of 4. Ingredients: water, malt, lots of hops, and yeast. Okay. If they emphasize lots of hops, I am very curious. And calling this a double black IPA, I am guessing they used a lot of roasted malts, so maybe even a stout-like base, I don't know. Brewed at Poesiat and Kater in Amsterdam, 7.5% ABV. Now I really love these graphics. Without any further ado, let's go. Okay. I must admit that this is less dark than I expected. Calling this double black might be a bit optimistic, but it is a very beautiful color. As usual, it is a deep ruby red with a brown tint. Not necessarily a brown beer. Also beautiful beige, dense foam. I like that. Ooh, very odd scent. Malty, hoppy, of course, for starters. Roasty, most definitely. very, very roasty flavors, but also a bit, how should I say this, like salty or umami, like a bit like bouillon. Bouillon in English, stock, like beef stock, broth. Yeah, very, very nice. Okay. Let's have a taste, because, yeah, it really tickled my fancy. Okay, I get what they mean, and at first glance, I think that they might have hyped it up a bit too much on the can, because when I read a lot of hop and yeast and black IPA, I'm thinking some roasty malts and a lot of hop indeed, a lot of aroma, a lot of bitterness. This does have a lot of bitterness, however, this does dial, or this does boil down to the bitterness of the roasted malts. Very coffee-ish, very burnt, very roasted. Uh, and I do get hoppiness in there as well, and dryness as well. Um, but I do get the idea that the roasted components of the malts and the bitterness of the hops are actually fighting for attention. Um, and that actually throws the beer a bit off balance. Um, whereas I expected to have a beer that is in balance. So, yeah, jury's still out. Initial thought, rather thin in the mouthfeel, but in a good way. Um, quite balanced in the mouthfeel. A lot of bitterness, with a tiny hint of acidity, covers the whole tongue. It really goes down smoothly. It does tickle the throat a bit because of that bitterness. So I do believe that they used a whole lot of hop. And even though it's not necessarily balanced, the more I taste this, the more the roastiness and the hops go hand in hand. So that's, by the way, why it's important to always taste a few times and draw in some air and do different things. Because even if the initial taste or the initial flavor isn't, yeah, your thing, it might grow on you. Absolutely not bad. Not my cup of tea either, but indeed not bad. Now, of course, this beer is following up a fantastic Lobic IPA from yesterday. And come on, that Saison Lambic by Brussels Beer Project. So I think that yesterday, up until now, was my favorite day of both advent calendars. Uh, that's a tough one to follow, big shoes to fill. But yeah, nonetheless, how should I score this? I think I'm going for a very generic 3.5, which is a decent good beer. That's about it. I think that this beer might actually do with less hop because of the fighting with the roastiness. On the other hand, well, they know what they're doing, so they probably tried that out. But who am I to tell them off? Nonetheless, absolutely not a bad beer. I like it. It's not going to be my favorite. It's not going to be my top 10, but I'm also not mad that I tasted it. So, cheers. As usual, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, remarks, or whatever, the comment section is the place to go. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. Hit that thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe and hit the bell icon. You'll get notified whenever I upload something, which should be every day at 5 and 8 p.m. this month. And if you want to support this channel, share a video and yeah, spread the word. Until tomorrow with 2 new brew reviews. Cheers, you guys.